New from Cauldron is the wonderful Murder in a Blue World from director Eloy de la Iglesia, who did the wonderful Cannibal Man, a man whose movies are a little bit etched in exploitation, but definitely elevated above that with the storytelling, with the imagery that he puts into his movie, and with the subtext that's most definitely there. These are exploitation to a certain degree, but that's not all they are. There's more to it than that, and I really appreciate that they have that in this kind of movie. Now, the main story here is, well, there's a couple of stories going on. We have Anna, a nurse who loves her job, who's deeply affected by the people within her job. In fact, there's a man telling her a story at the start. He's dying, and it says, what if the whole world is full of people who are just dead and don't realise it? And this is a kind of reaffirming statement for Anna, something that opens her eyes but kind of drives home something at the same time, and something that kind of dilutes her world from then on. We have another story of David, who is a young hoodlum who is driving about with his three friends, just causing utter carnage. Their idea of a good time is a home invasion where they just completely destroy a family forever. But ultimately, David is going to be chastised, segregated from his group, go his own way, and him and Anna will cross paths at a certain point. There is also the story of a serial killer who is killing young men.
As we already told you in our last program, the unknown killer of young people has returned to strike again.
It's always kind of played in news reports. We sometimes see police investigations of this, but it's a kind of periphery of the story so far. And then we have a story of a doctor who is trying to curb the violent tendencies of criminals through various surgicals and electric shock treatments, and basically trying to rehabilitate them medically rather than psychologically.
All we intend to do here is to cure your mind. Liberate you from those instincts which have made you a murderer.
By scarring them quite badly. We've got all this going on in this world, in a world that's sort of placed in a dystopian future where, it's not overtly futuristic. It's just a few years ahead where some things are wildly different. But actually, remarkably, some good guesses here as to how things would play out. And what I love about this is Sue Lyon is the main character of Anna.
I talk to my patients, reassure them. I make them feel better.
I think she is such a wonderful character, almost angelic throughout the movie. A woman who is there to help, who has a designed purpose, who kind of knows her place in the world and is willing to fit into it. She juggles a lot of plates as well, whether it be men in her life, whether it be the job, the sort of ramifications of dealing in this world where people are dying, and how she can justify that to herself is just wonderfully astute. Now, there are great surprises throughout this movie.
What do you want? Please let the boy go.
Listen, you can take whatever we have.
Which I won't spoil for you now in case you haven't seen it. But it's something I will be coming back to discuss at a later point, hopefully, if I can get my thoughts thoroughly etched on this one. I loved the sort of Kubrick homages that are here. They're very much an almost love letter to Kubrick. They're very on the nose sometimes, where we have a family who are about to see the movie Clockwork Orange. There's a news report about it, or a little blurb before it starts, before they are interrupted with people who are in a uniform, much like the Droogs, who then attack them, much like the Droogs, and that kind of on the nose sort of homage to Clockwork Orange. But then there's more subtle ones, like Sue Lyon being within Lolita, who's sitting reading the book Lolita at one point. There's lots of other kind of Kubrick-isms around this as well, and it's very clearly that it was inspired somewhat by Kubrick's output, which I kind of appreciate. Murder in a Blue World is one of those ones that has such startling images and a stunning story to tell about the brutality, savagery in this future world, as we see men specifically who are almost portrayed as violent imbeciles. You know, if it's not the doctor that she's somewhat dating who is brutally torturing and trying to rehabilitate the patients, to the young men who are just violent for the sake of shits and giggles, pretty much, or to David, who is a kind of character who will do whatever he wants to get by, so that he doesn't, as he actively says, he doesn't want to be a productive part of society.
Listen, I'll tell you a secret. I couldn't care less about being useful to society.
Don't talk like that. Someone might hear you.
He's quite happy to be a leech. He's quite happy to do some lecherous things. And if that means that he can just have an easy life, yeah, he's for it. I love the look of Murder in a Blue World. I felt it was stunningly shot. There are some just utterly amazing images that have been seared onto my brain, and they're kind of percolating there because there's more to them than meets the eye, I believe, at first watch. I think this is a stunning restoration. It looks beautiful. It's a fantastic movie. It's got a wonderful commentary by Kat Ellinger, who really does bring to the forefront a lot about Iglesias, his sexuality, how he managed to eke things through the censors in such a fun way within the movie, which I really appreciated. I enjoyed that. And this is another winner by Cauldron. If you can get your hands on this, this is extremely highly recommended. You must have it. It's wonderful. This is taking pride of place in my collection as an absolute standout of a film. I would love to know your thoughts of Murder in a Blue World if you have seen it. There's more content up here. If you want to see more of my stuff, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below this video. There is a little like button. Hit that please, because it really does help these videos. And if you want to support me further, there is the links to the Patreon or the membership program in the description box below. That would be fantastic. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely night, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.